Hello, everybody. Another Thursday. Welcome. Thank you for joining. So we're here with another session of Open Diner. Our topic today is the number one thing we get wrong in love. As you might know, in the United States, about 50% of married couples divorce, the sixth highest divorce rate in the world. The number of people who are single is almost more than double what it was just 50 years ago. People are not meant to go through life alone. Our romantic relationships are the center of all our other connections. So we want to try to address that and give you the tools needed to understand your partner or potential time. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. This is a cameras event, so if you'd kindly turn on your cameras, that would be great. I think everybody has them on right now. We find it helps us connect to each other, and it gives you the opportunity to fully benefit from this event. Some activities that we will be doing require being able to see each other. If you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube, hello, welcome. Please participate in the comments. We'll read your comments and address them during the show. I'm one of the hosts. We're going to introduce the host. I'm Roberta from Long Island, New York. We have another great host here, Willie, who is unmuted.
Yes,
There we
I
go.
unmute. I'm Willie from St. Louis, Missouri. You know, despite the growing number of dating sites and other seeming opportunities to meet people, most people are struggling to find loved ones. And those who are in relationships are having trouble keeping their relationship or marriage going. About half of the divorce nowadays come from low conflict marriages. Research also showed that after leaving a marriage with a low level of conflict, those people are generally more likely to be unhappy, and their children are more likely to be unhappy as well. If only people had the necessary tools, knowledge, and willingness to work on their relationship, many of these mistakes could be avoided. So, are you ready for the number one thing we get wrong in relationship? Does anyone want to guess what it is? The number one thing.
Lying, not knowing yourself.
Selfishness.
Yeah, I was going to say, loving others before you learn how to love yourself.
Lack of communication.
A third person.
Constant judgment.
Empathy. You're not giving enough empathy.
We have some great thinking people here. Or you have some great experience. Either way, you know. All right. Any other guesses? Okay. I'm not going to say who's right or wrong, but as we go through this, you will see how close you are or if you are right on. The number one thing we get wrong is that we try to change our partners. I don't think I heard that one. Almost everyone is guilty of this. Our natural inclination is to always look for the other person to change, since that is easier than admitting to myself that I must change. And guess what? It's almost always backfires. You cannot change others. So today, we'll look closely at this problem and see what we can do instead, because as the saying goes, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you'll keep getting what you're getting. We're excited to tackle this issue today together. So let's move on to some announcements and an icebreaker.
Okay. Thank you, Willie. That was a great intro. So some announcements, reminders, like Willie said, we're trying to create a supportive environment here. We are here to connect above all our differences. We stay on topic, no criticism. We avoid politics. Remember to mute your microphone when you're not speaking to minimize background noise. And if you could turn on your cameras, it would allow you to fully benefit from this event. Please remember to keep your answers brief so everyone gets a chance to speak. And again, if you're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, hello, please participate. Answer the questions in the comments. Our great friend Dan here will read them and we'll be together during this event. So enough of that stuff. We got that out of the way. So now we're going to do our icebreaker. Really likes that. Okay. So this is very simple. We're going to complete a sentence together, not together, one by one. We're going to do it popcorn style. If you're not familiar with it, that's when popcorn pops. When it's ready, it just, pops. But here, when you're ready to speak, unmute yourself, say what you'd like to share with us, and then don't forget to, mute yourself again so someone else can speak. So let's see, the sentence I'm going to start. You're going to complete the sentence with 1 to 2 words, not 1 to 2 sentences, not 1 to 2 paragraphs. Let's keep it short. Maybe 3 is okay. It starts off like this. Love is, and then complete the sentence. Who would like to start? Love is
an act of your will.
Caring for your partner.
Giving of yourself.
Confusing.
Friendly.
Love is all you need.
love is
The greatest thing.
Open diner.
Well, love is then the creator.
love is peace and joy.
Open heart.
Love is
Happiness.
love is the program that all natural systems run on.
Patient.
Love is everything.
Love is better than all of the other options.
Love is the answer.
Love is easy.
Love is hard.
Love is hard work.
Love is compromise.
Love is being able to say you're sorry.
Love is forgiveness.
And love is complicated.
Love is pure.
Love is the
I said
level. Oop.
No, I said, Rob and I are saying opposites. Go ahead. Sorry, Dan.
Love is the level above everything else.
Love is honesty.
And the learning process.
Love is everything.
Roberta, maybe you should explain it to what we're doing to Peter.
Oh, I was like, what are we doing to Peter? Peter, how you doing? If you could turn on your camera. We're doing an icebreaker right now. And we're going to finish this sentence. Love is, and we're doing it with 1 to 2 words. So if you would like to add, you just unmute yourself, speak briefly, and then you can join in. So we're just doing it popcorn style. Whoever would like to speak, they unmute and add their thoughts. So love is easy, let's say. And if you'd like to join, please.
Love is understanding.
Love is ability to listen.
Love is a lot of work.
Love is the right way to go.
Love is infinite.
I'm just going after Willie. Love is the great GPS.
Love is eternal.
Unconditional.
Love is a many splendid thing.
Love is music.
Love is kind.
Right, let's do something a little different now. And we have a few minutes for this. What is love not? Love is not what? Love is not.
Love is not a feeling.
Love is not unfair.
Double for love is not a feeling. That was a good one.
Love is not jealousy.
Love is not overbearing.
Love is not trying to change a partner.
Love is not controlling.
Love is not temporary.
Love is not impossible.
Love is not a joke.
Love is serious work.
Love is not thinking about yourself.
Okay. Well, we covered both sides of that. That was interesting, right? Fun. And I love the answers everybody added. So I'm going to hand this back over to Willie.
Well,
Thank you, everybody, for participating.
that was great. You know, a lot of fun. I hope we listened. We would have learned a lot of things. So now let's go watch a video.
If you want to get a smile out of your partner, tell them this line. You know what I love about you? What? Everything. I learned it from my husband. In fact, I learned so much from him all the time. I'm not the same person I was before we met. That's what's so amazing about relationships. They force you to change, to grow. Relationships challenge us to get along with someone else, someone who may be so very different from us, who has a different perspective on life, different habits, different tendencies. We need to learn how to make decisions with this person. We need to run our life together. These differences between us can either ruin our relationship and bog us down, or they can help us completely transform ourselves and become much better people. Our romantic relationship is at the center of all our other connections. It's where we can practice and own our social skills. And the truth is, there is nothing more important to learn in our time. Research shows that relationships are the primary factor shaping our happiness and well-being. Our social skills are a great predictor of our career success. And we can already see from the state of the world that the jobs that are likely to be in high demand in the near future are the ones that will require empathy, real human connection, and heartfelt communication. Exactly what is currently missing from people's lives. For so many reasons, relationships are so important, especially now. And yet, we see a trend where more and more people are choosing to stay single. In the past 2 decades, there's been a rise of at least 55% in the number of people who live alone. Until the second half of the previous century, most people got married young and lived together for the rest of their lives. Today, most people marry late, divorce, and stay single for years, even decades. One of the top reasons for this is that no one is teaching us the rules of love. Weird, right? With so many books written on it and the films that were made, we still don't know how to build a relationship that will last and satisfy us over time, how to deepen the relationship despite any differences, and how to cope with all the changes we meet along the way. We call this a higher connection. In this course, we're going to learn the basic rules of love relationships, as well as a few tips and tricks. We will talk all about how to use your relationship as a laboratory where you can perfect your approach and learn how to relate to another person in order to achieve that higher connection. You may be asking yourself, wait a minute, why do I need to perfect my approach? So let's get to the first rule to love. Be honest now. How many times did you try to change something about your partner? Good. Now, how many times did this actually work out? Right, because no one wants to be changed. It just doesn't work. I myself made that mistake many times. But I discovered a basic truth that any change I wish to see in the relationship needs to start from me. I realized that my judgments are always the result of my subjective perspective. So in truth, I'm the one who needs to expand and change how I view my partner to see them more correctly and accept them just as he or she is. This is a core principle we're going to learn how to implement. Instead of expecting the other person to change, we'll talk about how we can take those reins of change into our own hands and bring the positive change we wish to see in our relationship by changing our own attitude. At the end of the day, it's the only thing that really works. Of course, it must also be accompanied by getting to know each other better, acknowledging each other's needs, and being mutually willing to work on the relationship. This is key. But ultimately, it's only when we're willing to rise above our differences without trying to break the other person that we can build that bridge to a higher connection. So what did we learn in this lesson? We learned why being in a healthy relationship is so important today, and that our relationship can serve us as a kind of laboratory for personal growth, where we can learn how to successfully relate to other people. In the next lesson, we're going to get to know ourselves a little bit better. We'll take a look at our human nature, learn about our impulses, and how we can work with them to bring more harmony into our relationships.
Wow, what a movie. You know, if we had enough time, we need to play that one a second time, because I'm sure there are a lot of points that went by us. All right, but we're short of time. So now we'll have our round discussion. But first, let's go over our etiquette rules. Okay, that are on the screen there. We are here to build a space of support, love, care, and warmth. Everyone is equal and very important. No one is greater than the other. We go around the table and we speak briefly and on topic. Listen attentively, meaning don't try to form your answer or to try to come up with something clever. Listen to the person ahead of you and see if you can add to what they're saying. There's no right or wrong answers. The truth is in the center of our connection. All right. So now what we're going to do, and looks like everyone here has their camera on. Okay, so we can get started. The first question, and I think we're going to do this popcorn style. So you have an answer, mute, answer your question, and then mute yourself again, so that the next person can come on without any disturbances. Okay, question number one. Let's talk about what we heard. Share one tip you learned from creating loving relationships that work over time. Share one tip that you heard in this video of creating loving relationships that work over time.
We've got 2 ears and only 1 mouth, so listen twice as much as you talk.
Love,
Go
love
ahead,
is,
Tina.
love is a bridge to a higher connection. I really love that line.
Love is not changing your partner. But if there's a problem, you look at yourself and change yourself.
There's an approach to love. It's not this whimsical thing that just kind of floats around. We try our best, right? There's an approach.
Being
Yeah.
being persistent in our efforts towards love. Keep trying, keep working at it, keep knocking on that door till you got it right.
I'd like to add on to what Susie said. We give up too easy, not giving up on the relationship.
Yeah, it takes work, and it takes equal work back. Both people need to be working on it. That's what she says. You go through life working through these issues, and becomes a two people task, not just one.
Right, right. And to begin with the intention to have a long-lasting relationship. Just not to try and give up, just that should be the intention, working together and building the long-lasting relationship.
One thing that was also in the movie was learning the rules of a loving relationship. What are the guidelines?
I think also one thing that can help is realizing that it's a partnership. You don't have to know everything, and what your partner knows will help you. If we both together trying to build this construction together, then we are more successful by adding to what the other is bringing in. We have to remember that this partnership is puts us working in the same direction. And so, it's not a fight, it's a battle we're going to together, and as a teammate we have with us.
Yeah, exactly what Ronald's saying. You're on the same team. You're not looking to be right or say I'm right and you're wrong and put separation. There's times to compromise and be on the same team and work together and want it to be long lasting.
Maybe it would help if I change my outlook, the way I'm seeing things.
I think she said something about my partner being my mirror, and it's interesting because if I unless I have a certain quality in me, I won't notice it in another person. It's like that Indian that saw Columbus's ships coming, but I mean, the ships were coming, but he couldn't see them because he had never seen a ship before, so everything is a matter of perception. If you're seeing it in someone else, it must mean that that's something that you need to correct in yourself.
Yeah, we often think that a marriage is there for my convenience. It's not. It's a partnership. We have to remember that.
Right, and to continue, Nina, is also a lot of things you learn from your partner that you don't have, and that is a great opportunity to enhance yourself and your relationship. You learn from each other.
I think another thing that was brought out in the movie was willing to practice love in a relationship. So practicing it. like I say, it was a lot of points that was given in that movie.
I wish I would have known. I would have taken notes. So I could expand. I almost feel like, say, let's watch it again. Sorry.
Yes, I had that same feeling. All right. Anything else? Tips for creating loving relationship? Well, we'll move on to the next question. Question number 2. Why does any change in a relationship need to start from me, meaning you? So ask yourself, you're pointing to yourself, why does change in a relationship need to start from me? That means not from the other person.
Because you can't change people. You can only change yourself.
And also, on a very selfish level, I guess, if you really want the other person to change, you have to set an example. That's the best way to get them to change. Anyway, you know, we shouldn't expect anyone else to change, but if I am not practicing what I'm preaching, then it's like pointless. You know, it's like parents that tell their children not to lie or steal, but they do those things themselves. It's the worst kind of education. You know, it doesn't work.
And sad to say, I might be the one at fault. So I need to look at myself first instead of assuming that it's the other person is at fault.
Yeah, one of the places where I play music, the presenter was on, and I looked real close to the computer and I went, wow, I wonder if she knows that this side of her lipstick is skinnier than this side. And sure enough, when I went to the mirror, mine was exactly the same. So I find when I'm looking at somebody else, if I just go, wow, you know, I'll bet that I'll go look in the mirror and that's what I got in me. I just happened to see it in them.
Yeah, you just remind me, you know, when I see couples who live through long life, you know, and they start looking alike, they talk alike, you know, they can start a sentence and the other can continue, you know. It's just really absolutely amazing. You ask one and the other can answer. If people live in harmony, that is what happens, you know.
You know, and reading this, if somebody's listening, let's say on Facebook or YouTube, wherever, it says, you know, when you hear change, it's like, okay, I have to do something different in my world. And I'm, you know, being the one that's going to have to step down in some situation. But in a relationship, a change is really when you are in it and you're really feeling the other person, love the other person. It's not a change. It's compromise. It's, you know, balancing. You know, if something's off balance, let's say you have a scale, you have to change something to make it balanced again. So it does take work, but it's not like hard work if you really love the other person and you're both working towards this. And it's not really a hard change. It's really more compromise.
Jensen from Facebook says the only thing I'm in control of is myself.
Roberta, I don't know what scale you're looking at, but when I stand on a scale, it doesn't seem balanced to me.
All scales that you step on are wrong. Every single one since I was like 18. I'm talking like, you know, the scale is like a seesaw. There you go. That has two people.
He had to put both feet on the scale at the same time. But, you know, that's a thought. You have to have both feet into the relationship. Not 1 feet in, 1 feet out. Both feet in.
I have one more
Anita?
thing. Sorry, Willie.
No, I was just thanking Nita for that thought.
Absolutely. Paula says, because we can't change other people, we can only work on changing ourselves. And in doing that, you ultimately better yourself and your relationship. Yeah, you got to grow that relationship, enhance it together.
Fantastic answers, guys. You left me with nothing to say, really. So all I will say is that earlier I said that marriage isn't there for my convenience. So it's not there for your convenience. So that's why I need to change in the marriage. Or you need to change in yours. Shh.
I got to make sure that I'm not a user. That's what I'm hearing. But a giver.
Yeah,
There's,
go ahead, Ron.
thank you. I was gonna say there's one thing also it helps is that if you are willing to make the change, like from the get-go, you're willing to make the compromise, then it makes a lot of things go easier. Could ask the question is why is it that when you're the one that wants to make the change in yourself, then it makes everything go smoother also. Because that way, realizing that we're all trying to help each other. There's one thing that galvanizes relationships is that you realize the effort that the partner is making in order to making it work, and that it inspires you in turn also. So if you pay attention that at your effort, then certainly that it encourages your partner to just be willing to compromise easier.
Just made
And
me
I
think
think,
of something.
go ahead.
Who wants to go?
You go, Roberta.
Ronald made me think of something. When you're in a relationship with anybody, friend, family, lover, whatever, it's like the change is coming out of everything's for myself. My ego wants everything for me. So that change is really coming out and then thinking of the other person. So that's really the change when, you're saying it starts from me. It starts from me coming out of me and thinking the other. How do they feel? What do they feel in the situation? Am I affecting this? Am I helping this? Am I ruining it? So it's that change of coming out of myself, really. And that's where it starts. It was an epiphany to me. I don't know about you people.
Yes, I'd like to add to that. Yes. I have to look within myself to see, if something's not working, I need to look for the solution, because the solution could be in me. Like I say, I might be the one causing the problem. We have Nancy.
Yeah, what I wanted to add to everything. Maybe Willie, you want to introduce to Nancy what we're doing?
I'm sorry, just go on. I'll catch up. I had trouble with everything today, including the computer. I apologize.
No apologies needed. We're happy to have you. And what I wanted to add, that even go further, not only like changing myself, but everything you do, and just think about, is it for advantage of the relationship or it is to its detriment, and then you can act and do things and even think,
Nancy, we do have the questions in the chat. You can look them over, and any of them that you'd like to respond to, you can jump in and give your response to them. Make them brief, though. Do we have any others before I bring up the third question? We don't want to leave anything out. This is such an important topic. All right, here we go. The third question. How can we bridge the difference between us without trying to break the other person? How can we bridge the differences between us without trying to break the other person?
Walk in their moccasins for a while.
Let go of the need to win.
Embrace the differences. And we
Listen. Sorry, Elisa.
Linda, what did you say? Listen?
Yeah, listen to what the other person's problem is.
And let go of your need to be right.
I think this is a hard one because the differences always get in the way. Because I want to convince the whole world that you know, I'm right, but we can look at them as an opportunity. I think one of the other videos that that we saw recently said something about that, where if you manage to bridge those differences, like build a connection above the differences without necessarily negating the difference, then it helps you to grow the love. But it really requires placing the relationship above the importance of being right in that moment.
You know,
And also, go on,
go ahead,
Willie.
Rob. Talking it out, being willing to sit down and talk through issues, not giving up, throwing up your hand and saying there's no use and want to quit, but really being willing to talk it out. Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
No problem. I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, by letting go of the need to be superior in the relationship.
If you know, you think about it, in the beginning of every relationship, all these differences, they're cute. I like them, right? They're all fun. Then all of a sudden, something changed. All of a sudden, well, this doesn't fit my needs. It's no good. So, you know, without breaking the other person, you have to go back and say, what did I like about this person? What do I care? You know, what did I originally find attractive in this? Was it all like, you know, corporeal, or you see past that? And like, this goes back to the last question. It starts with me, you know? So these are tough questions, you know?
Yeah, all the things that we find are cute at the beginning are the ones that usually annoy us the most. So, you know, why is it designed that way? Because everybody, you know, there's people laughing at that. That means that it occurs more than 50% of the time. Why? So, and I would reference what Nina said is that, yeah, you don't want to wipe anything out. The person is the person. That's the way they are. You have to accept it, but you don't have to like it. You have to go above it. There's a difference, right? Is that you can't have love without resistance, right? I can't love someone that's just always perfect to me. You know, that's called a slave. You know, it would be one of the words, right? You have to have some friction to go above, whatever above means to you.
So that will call for each person seeing each one equal, not one greater than the other, and with equal voice.
Equal importance, just like you know, the rules that, you know, we have the what are they called? The table etiquette rules. No one is more important or less important. And in the moment, I always think that, my opinion is more important if there's some kind of conflict. But remembering that the other person's opinion, even though it's very different, is also extremely important. And the answer is usually somewhere in the middle. It's not on either side. So if you manage to get there, you'll find a much better answer.
And stop being offended. Stop taking yourself too damn seriously.
When you sit down to talk it out, sit down with the intention of building a bridge, not trying to change his idea, but to build a bridge between the two of us. You gotta have that intention.
Yeah, and one of my favorite books is called Prometheus Rising from Robert Anton Wilson, and he has this telescope. I mean, just one vision, and he's looking out, and the other person's no, he's looking out, and he goes, "What do you mean tunnel vision?" We all have that thing where we think everybody sees like what we're seeing. We're the only one seeing it like that, so we have to make way for other people's perception.
But Nancy, you had a chance to look into the chat at the questions?
Yes, I was going to say, there's supposed to be, I've read about these fair fighting rules, and not that you want it to be a fight, but to discuss things in a fair way, which is something like, don't say you always do this and bring up past events. That's the only one I can really remember, except you're supposed to phrase the question, the thing as not accusatory, but say, this upsets me when, and can we do something about it? And maybe like, I think it was Linda who said, we're trying to work towards the same thing. So if we can just remember that instead of like seeing it as an oppositional thing, but we're trying to find a compromise because we care about each other. So if we put that and some respect ahead of it, maybe that would help.
See, you were supposed to be here. We needed you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. It's making my day better because it was a terrible day. So I appreciate it.
As a matter of fact, Nancy just reminded me of something. We used to have these open diner relationship rules. I think there were, I can't remember, 5 or 10 rules. And one of them I remember was when you're fighting, don't insult the other person. You can, it's normal for couples to argue, but don't humiliate. I forgot how it was, because you can't come back from those things. So once you go there, it will remain in their memory. You can't come back from something like that. The fight will fade, but they'll remember that what you said to them and how it hurt. And just learning to fight properly is very, very important in a relationship.
There's something that says that, when you get in an argument with somebody, something like they leave the argument or conversation, whatever it is, with it, how you made them feel. So like you said, if you put someone down, you made them feel bad, that's something you can't erase. That's for sure. Like Rob said, what, 2 ears and one mouth listen more? That is very true.
I think that the goal has to be the relationship, right? Like, yeah, these overcomings are what's going to build the relationship. And if both people aren't on board with that, then there's could be a major problem there.
We gave some fantastic answers. If only everyone could just listen to this broadcast and really would help their relationship. But now we're running out of time and we need to go to the next part of our
Evening.
together.
Evening.
Yes.
Okay.
Morning, evening, afternoon.
We don't have time to discuss. We need to dance now. That's what we need to do, everybody.
Yes.
Right now, we're going to do our traditional open diner chair dance. That's right. Dance in your chair with your arms. It's a lot of fun. Don't knock it till you try it. The way it works is kind of like follow the leader, meaning that we have fun to the music we're going to play, and one person at a time is displayed on the screen. When you come up on the screen, do a dance move, something with your arms, just with your arms are okay, and everybody's going to follow your move. When the others are displayed on the screen, you follow their moves. When it's your turn, a text box come up. Don't read that text box. You're going to miss your turn. Ignore it. Don't read it. You'll miss your turn. So let's get loose. Let's have some fun. I think this is a very upbeat song. This is a great way for us to connect. So let's lift our spirits and have some new dance moves. Come on, let's leave here with a good dance.
Shots with me. I'm traveling fast, I'm clean. I've roamed this land, one man done conquered it all. And it stings, but let me say, you'll thank me yet one day. It's surprised that we almost paid. Got food, got school, chain up and take a walk. No time to talk. This is the final warning. I'm just saying, I'm not playing. Take a walk. No time to talk. You've got a long way ahead. You better hear what I say and take a walk. No time to talk. This is a final warning. I'm just saying, I'm not playing. Take a walk. No time to talk. You've got a long way ahead.
Okay, now we're talking some dancing, everybody. There was a split screen with it with Nancy and I. That was fun. All right. Great job, everybody. That was a lot of fun. That's one for the books. Thank you.
So, wow. As I catch my breath.
It was a good song.
Yeah, and I didn't fall off of the piano bench.
Okay. So we'd like for you to follow us on Facebook, Meetup, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Click like, subscribe. More importantly, share with friends. Don't you agree that should have been here to hear this? All right. On YouTube and Facebook, you can watch all our past events. Show them this one. You can RSVP to upcoming events on Facebook and Meetup.
Okay. I'm still going with the song. Sorry. Okay.
You're here in my head.
So next Thursday, we continue talking about love and relationships. You'll find the invite on Facebook and Meetup. Please RSVP, follow and subscribe, and you'll be notified of all our events. We hope to see you next Thursday. Bring your friends too if you think they could benefit from this event. And thank you all for joining and taking part. And please continue to join us every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, and spread the word. Bring your friends. Even if you're late, it's good, Nancy. You came. Yes.
Thanks. I was just wondering, can we find out the names of the artists of these songs? Because this week's is really good, and I liked last week's too. Is there a way to do that, or?
I think so.
We
Sure.
can post in the chat, I think. We can only share like royalty-free music during open diner. So,
Okay.
does anyone have access to the link? Maybe you can post it for Nancy.
I noticed that we have a little time.
We do.
Is this, oh, okay.
Maybe we can.
Is this it? Is this it, Rono? Is this the
Yeah.
link? I mean, that I see?
That's the link to this, the video of this song. I think it's.
Ah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, friends. See you next week. Have a good
Okay,
day.
take care.
Next week, we say.
Thank you.
Thank
Fran.
you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Good.
Thank you, everybody.
Love you guys.
Okay, it just went away and now I can't.